guys, this is Rurouni K95 here, and happy anniversary to this 1981 classic movie. For today's re-review is Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal was released on August 7th, 1981, even though it premiered in the theater on July 29th, 1981, because this movie is basically like how it's based on the magazine with some stories and some creative imagination, narrative feeling, and there's also like some sci-fi and some fantasy elements in this movie. Yeah, because I know this movie has some violence and some nudity, you know, but which is not in a good way. But Heavy Metal, however, this was released because on this day as well. So we all know the plot of the, like, I'm going to tell you the plot in the stories of how the analysis on how each sequence in Heavy Metal. The Grimaldi sequence in Heavy Metal is just basically the car lands on Earth after basically how he received a green orb, which goes by the name Loc-Nar in this movie, when he goes into the house after driving back here, because it's basically a green orb from outer space, which it spreads destructions throughout the galaxy of how to expect. And yeah, after the girl notices that the green orb kills the guy, and basically it goes by the name Loc-Nar, and it tells the story of how the origins of how a long history of how it portrays in each sequence. In the sequence in Harry Canyon, however, it's basically like your typical taxi cab driver noticed something about how things was going on. It's your typical story. Yeah, John Candy voices a police officer in the Harry Canyon sequence, because you know what I mean. And also in the sequence Den, it just basically tells a story about how a nerdy teenager who found a green orbit, which added to his rock collection, but something goes on which teleports him all the way into some sort of fantasy-like thing, which it looks like something straight out of the Ten Commandments in this sequence in Heavy Metal, where the queen and her guards are worshiping Ula-Tek in this movie, especially when they're sacrificing the girl. And yeah, that's because you know how the story goes. If you want to know about this, like if I want to do the analysis about the stories of how because of how John Candy voices the character again in the sequence Den in the movie Heavy Metal, of how this thing goes by as well, from what I understand. And yeah, the character Ard is voiced by Martin Lavitt, who is the voice of Mylar from the movie Rock and Rule in this sequence in the movie, I think, Heavy Metal, from what I understand as well. And yeah, because you know what I mean about the sequence. Captain Stern, Hanover Fist sequence in Heavy Metal, however, it's basically the trial about so much trouble and the crimes of how Captain Stern caused during the trial. And the witness prosecutor, Hanover Fist, is voiced by Roger Bumpus, who is the voice of Squidward from from SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah, and John Vernon is also in this. Joe Flathery and Eugene Levy are from Second City Television in this movie, Heavy Metal. And yeah, the transformation of what Hanover Fist caused when Captain Stern was running away from him. Yeah, this is basically like in the trial courtroom scene. This is basically how Bill Bixby has got the idea of creating the TV movie The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, especially the courtroom scene, because this is not the first time of how we're getting inspiration of how the stories goes, but we'll come to that in some sort of sequence or inspirational thing to that moment, particularly later on as well, which I haven't reviewed the Trial of the Incredible Hulk yet, but that's probably a subject for another time. Back to Heavy Metal, however, yeah, because In this sequence of Heavy Metal, the Captain Stern Hanover Fist sequence in Heavy Metal, the design of Captain Stern is basically kind of reminds you of Superman, because the face and the hairstyle in that scene. Yeah, because you know what I mean. Because this was the first time we get how Hanover Fist is voiced by the voice actor who did the voice for Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants in Heavy Metal, which one of you fans of SpongeBob fans will take note on this movie as well, because I haven't thought about this until now. It's very interesting, though. Yeah, and there was also the deleted scene sequence in Heavy Metal, which is the Neverwhere Land, which is basically one of those deleted scenes that were from Heavy Metal, which we'll get into the deleted scenes in just a moment. Yeah, because basically the evolution of how the creation from the Ice Age period into World War as well, because you know how the deleted scenes goes. Especially they use the music from such as the song Time by Pink Floyd in the 1996 VHS release of Heavy Metal. But the B-17 sequence in Heavy Metal, however, it's basically like World War II type sequences of how they were bombing Germany as well. Basically how, because the B-17 plane is basically the Pacific Pearl in this one. I mean, if you ever learn history about this, because I have a long history about the B-17 sequence in Heavy Metal, because it's basically a World War II related event. It's basically how they bombed something in Germany during the war in World War II, what you see during Heavy Metal. Yeah, because for that reason, the glowing orb flies around inside the Pacific Pearl B-17 plane. It brings those dead pilot fighter ones in, like they bring them back to life as zombie skeletons, which it gives it a little horror movie atmosphere type way, until he escaped from the B-17 plane, until he went to a stranded island filled with destroyed Navy planes, including other Navy Air Force pilots who came back as zombified monsters to his surrounding, to his near death, when he has the fear of this. So beautiful and dangerous. It's basically another sequence. We get John Candy again voicing the robot character. We get those other alien characters, like including one voiced by Harold Ramis from Stripes, and he's famously known for the Ghostbusters movie. And Roger Bumpus again voices the character who works for the Pentagon in that scene. Yeah, the sequence takes place in Dr. Anarch. He's voiced by Roger Bumpus again. Yeah, that's how the story goes of how the sequence of how in Heavy Metal was going on. Of how you notice, the story setting in the Pentagon was, I think this was setting in Washington, D.C. in the United States of America, about how there were green radiations from space, of how, until these two aliens who are doing like these types of weird drugs and all in the spaceship, has abducted the girl who works for the secretariat at the Pentagon, Gloria. I mean, that's how the story goes in that. I mean, is it me, or does the character Gloria from Heavy Metal kind of reminds me of the human version of Peg Pete from the Disney animated series Goof Troop? I mean, she does. That's basically how Disney got the idea for to create Goof Troop. I mean, that's basically how the design, but that's basically the inspiration of how it goes. Yeah, that's pretty much from what I understand. And she has love affection with the robot and all, when they were doing drugs in the spaceship, when they were out from the Earth as well. So that's how the story goes in that sequence in there. And also, Tarna sequence. The animation was done by these animators, however. Yeah, including the great famous animator, who worked on the Tarna sequence in heavy metal is created by Danny Antonucci, who is the creator of Ed, Edd and Eddy. That's his early work on this. Fans of Ed, Edd and Eddy might take note on this also. Yeah, this is one of his early works. These villagers see the green orb on the hill thing, which turns them into, like, mutated evildoers, or bandits as well, evil bandits on the desert thing, mutant bandits to cause chaos in the city, to the council chambers, especially with the music by the Mob Rules by Black Sabbath plays in this movie. Yeah, that's basically how and then Tarna, who is the female Tarakian warrior, has to fight the evil as well. This makes her the main character with the long silver hair. She's basically the main hero protagonist character who can fight off those mutant bandits in that scene. And the boy character is voiced by Thor Bishoprick, who is known for Journey to the West, Legends of the Monkey King, is in that one as well. Yeah, there's also the song Through Being Cool by Devo is playing in that one. And yeah, same goes for in the Harry Canyon sequence in heavy metal. The music, Open Arms, was performed by Journey in that one, from what I understand. Yeah, this is a kick-ass sequence in heavy metal, until the green orb Lochnar has destroyed the house, until the girl has revealed herself, that she becomes the Tarakian warrior, when her hair changes silver, which is for another generation, and that's how you end this movie, when she becomes the new Tarakian warrior. This movie was great. I love this. The story was great. It's very fantastic. But I always enjoyed the Captain Stern sequence and the B-17 sequence in heavy metal, because I always love how the anthology goes in animation, how it goes as well, from what I understand as well. Yeah, the music in heavy metal were performed by Blue Oyster Cult, Cheap Trick, Black Sabbath, Devo, Donald Fagen, Journey, Stevie Nicks, Sammy Hagar, Don Felder, Grand Funk Railroad, Nazareth, Stevie Nicks, well, I mentioned it, Riggs, and Trust. Oh yeah, the soundtrack kicks ass in this movie. I mean, happy anniversary to this movie, because we all know Don Frank, Susan Roman, Martin Laffitt are from the movie Rock and Rule, are in this one as well, including Roger Bumpus, who is known for the voice of Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants, is in this movie also, from what I understand. Yeah, and the song Workin' in a Coal Mine by Devo plays at the end of heavy metal, from what I understand. So, this movie came out on this day, on August 7th, 1981, as a worldwide movie theater release as well, from what I understand as well. I mean, I find this movie enjoyable because it's one of those independent animated movies from the 80s that they don't make these kinds of movies that they used to. And the song Open Arms by Journey's in this, because it's from Journey's album Escape, is in this movie as well, from what I understand. So that's going to be it for my re-review on heavy metal for today. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's what I'm going to say for this one. Happy 40th anniversary to this movie, because this movie came out on this day as well. If you haven't seen this movie, check this out. This is a lot better than Heavy Metal 2000 as well, from what I understand. Hope to subscribe for content on my Anime Planet link in the description below. You can share this video on your Twitter, Facebook, if you have a Twitter and Facebook account, on all social media. Smack the like button if you enjoy this video. Feel free to leave in the comments in the comment section below about the movie Heavy Metal as well, because this is a re-review as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, Rurouni K95. Feel free to join my channel, especially if you're new to my channel. Smack the notifications bell and be sure to get notified as well. And that's all I gotta say. Happy 40th anniversary to this movie, Heavy Metal. This is Rurouni K95 saying thank you for watching my video, and I'm glad you liked it, and I hope you enjoy it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Hope you have a great day. This is Rurouni K95 signing off. Thank you for watching my re-review, and stay tuned for my re-review on Detroit Rock City.